This is Fairhead by FastFarming and ES Agri. It's 620.62 megabytes to download, and the description says explore Fairhead, a coastal map inspired by the real Fairhead in Northern Ireland and adapted for farming simulator. This map features narrow roads with stunning views and over 120 fields, primarily consisting of grassland. The map is suited to small and medium-sized machines that can navigate the narrow and twisty roads. This map features over 100 custom 3D models, 2 forestry areas, 2 lakes, 2 grain sellpoints, a silage sellpoint, default growth plan, custom lighting, custom foliage textures, and Northern Irish number plates. So, let's go and check it out. And here we are. This is where you start off in all 3 modes, and this is what the map looks like. Pretty cool, I have to say. Nice map. We are here. I'm in new farmer mode, so we actually start off up here, which is our starting farm in new farmer mode. So in that mode we get that 3 chunks. Now plot 5 has 2 fields in it, plot 4 has 2 fields, and then plot 2 we get 3 fields and our main farm. Now to buy those in the other 2 modes, because you don't start off with any land, 225 grand for that plot, 136, and for the farm area 753. Now including our farm there is 6 farms in total. Some of them are a little bit pricey, but you do get some animal barns or pens depending on which one you buy, plus fields, but we will be adding in some money to go through that in a second. Now like it says in the description, if I scroll across to crop types and grass, there is a lot of grass fields on here. I think it's just these 4 fields and this one here that aren't grass fields. But you don't have to keep them as grass fields, it's entirely up to you. There is quite a few cow barns on here. We do start off with 2 at the main farm. So you are going to need some grass for hay and silage. Plus we do have sheep up here as well, so they're going to need grass or hay depending on how you feed them. But there is quite a few even grass fields. I'm going to turn that off because it's quite overwhelming. Now in terms of prices of the fields, some of them do come in clumps of like 3, 4s. So 7 for instance there is 252 grand, but you do get 3 decent sized fields. And then we have fields like this on their own, only 13,665. So it does vary. 60 is quite a big field. 179 grand, not too bad. And then if I pick another one, 55, that's 104, but you get 3 there, like so. And like I say, when I've added in some money, we'll buy the other farms so you can see what's on them. And obviously we will check them out as we go round. Now, no custom crops even. Can't speak. So that's pretty easy and straightforward. If I scroll up through here, there's no collectibles. We don't start off with any productions. There is contracts available on the other fields. As you can imagine, there's going to be quite a lot of baling on there. Animals is showing 2 large cow barns and a sheep barn, because that's what we start off with in new farmer mode. Quite a lot of equipment we get. Some of it is a little bit in need of repair, but not anything too drastic or desperate. And like I say, nothing added in crop wise, and the crop calendar is standard, and that is about it for that. The only mod I could find was in build mode, and I will talk about this in a second because I did find a little bit of a problem with it. It's this Karma 16. Now we do have the base game one there, which is the same price, so it's obviously been modded in for some reason, but we will show you that in a second. And like I say, I will talk about that as well in a minute. And I think that's all I need to tell you. Painting textures, if we go to landscaping, I think that was all pretty standard. Animal mud, asphalt, dirt, forest ground, grass, gravel, that is it. Nothing in trees or plants, so pretty straightforward there. But yeah, I do like this map. Really nice scenic areas you can look out across there. We've got nice coastal bits that you'll see in a second. There's a lovely big lake behind our farm, So pretty cool. We'll do a tour, I think, of our farm, and we'll do slot counts and everything, and then I'll add in the money and we will buy up those other farms. So slot count, it is the same across all 3 modes, and it is 1014, because obviously you start off with the same equipment. If you come on in Farm Manager and start from scratch, so you don't start off with any land, so you will need to purchase yourself a farm. But obviously it will spawn you in exactly the same spot we've spawned in at, and all your equipment will be in the same spots, as you'll see in a second. So you'll have to do a bit of shifting around if you want to move farms or reset it all back down at the shop and go from there. But we start off with 2 small tractors, both Massey's. We've got a 6S and a 4710. We've got a Manitou telehandler, a Lizard 1986 pickup, the Class Carrot trailer, a plough, we've got a cultivator, a power harrow, we've got a seeder, so you can see it's all sort of smallish equipment. Sprayer, it's just the rear one, we haven't got the additional tank. Fertilizer spreader, a manure spreader, slurry tank, because obviously you've got quite a few cows. In grassland care, we've got this guy. Now, I've never used this, but it's saying up the top, grass rollers and weeders, so I'm presuming it rolls and weeds for you. It will also plant grass, oilseed radish and canola by the looks of it. We've got a side mower, we've got a tedder, windrower, because obviously a lot of grass work, loading wagon, a baler. In animals, we've got the feed mixer for your TMR for your cows. We've got a silo compaction thingy-majiggy, telehandler tools. We've got a manure fork and a pallet fork, a low loader, and just one 600 kilogram even class weight. That is it. Now, if you want to sell off all that equipment, you can get the slot count down to 845. So if you don't want any of that, you want to start with your own equipment, that's what the slot count will go down to. Now, I think I haven't tested really any of the other farms, but as far as I could tell, I couldn't sell any of these buildings. The only thing I could sell off was the Karma 16. So it looks like a lot of the farms, or all of the farms, you won't be able to sell any buildings. It is what it is. But that is it. So like I say, we will do a tour of our farm, we'll add in some money, and then off we go. So farmhouse here, we've got our sleep trigger on the porch. I don't think there's any wardrobe triggers in any of the farms. Do have a little random area. A lot of these gates will open, so just be aware, you can use a lot of them. Little area out the back there for whatever you want to do. Maybe stick a open pasture for chickens or something. Some of these buildings on these farms, they are just decorative, you can't go in them, and some you can go in and you're not really going to get a lot of use out of them. But again, I think it adds to the character though of each farm. They do start off with you, they do start you off even, I told you I couldn't speak, with a few bits and bobs. So we've got some silage additive there, and I'll show you some other bits that we get. In here we've got one of the Massey's. This is also our workshop area, so just here that will pick up that. Now it's picking up the pickup as well, which is obviously around the other side of this shed, so it looks like it's got quite a big sort of footprint for the trigger. And also manure fork. Now I was going, where is this manure fork? I was running around out here. It's actually here. So this looks like it's got a collision on it, so you might have a bit of fun getting that out. Hopefully you'll be able to hook up to it with the telehandler. I didn't actually try it, but there we go. So prime example, this building, not a lot of use. Probably store a few pallets in there. Can we open that gate? We can, so you probably get some pallets in there, might be able to get some things up onto there, but pretty nice, cool area. Out the side here we've got some mineral feed. Again, this gate will open, told you a lot of gates will open. We've got a shed here we can go into. Again, a little bit of storage area. There's our seeder. A lot of our equipment's just scattered around the place. We've got parked cars up. Very decorative. It's been brought to life with junk and all that on each farm, and as you go around the fields, etc. So pretty cool. Now, the first of the cow barns, this one will hold 16, so not a lot. And it will, he says, there we go. It's got 2 doors on it. They are separate. You will need to open them individually. Come on. There we go. They will open. Right, now I had to test these triggers because I wasn't 100% sure. This is going to be your milk one, and the slurry ones are at the back on these 2 barns on our farm. I didn't really test any of the other animal barns or pens on any of the other farms, so I'm not 100% sure with some of them. But feed and straw is in here. That's going to be your slurry collection point. And your cows literally just appear in and around here, so a little bit tight for them. So that one, again, you'll need to open both of these, but there you go. If we run round this way, we do have, we'll go up into here first. This is actually a bunker silo, and so is this one here, so that's pretty cool. But we've got some silage bales down the back that they've given us, which is nice. And if we run round this side, we've got the second one of the cow barns. This will hold 30, so a little bit more, but again, they only appear either side of here, so a little bit small for them. Milk there again, and feed and straw through the middle, slurry collection point down the end. Now this farm does have a manure heap extension, which is there, you can see bottom right, so you can collect the manure from here if you want to. Like I said, with some of the other cow barns on the other farms, I couldn't see any manure heap extensions, etc. So whether it does spawn inside the barn or you're going to have to place something down, I'm not 100% sure. Didn't test that, so I do apologise. Some more of our equipment there, as you can see. If we run round, we can drive up the back there if you want and go in sort of, well, I don't know why you'd want to go in there, but you can do. This isn't a bunker silo. I'm just going to turn on the help menu so you can see, but you can drive up there. Right, moving on over to here, we've got some more storage sheds. Now, most of the sheds do have lights on, so just up there, look, is one. You'll probably find there is only one light switch for some of the sheds, but it will do the lights on most of them. So just there, look, it does the shed next door, like so. And again, we've got quite a few solid fertilizer big bags, a couple of IBCs of herbicide, more equipment there. That's quite bright, those lights, aren't they? I think we'll turn them off, save a bit of electric. More equipment in here. And then we can open this up. This is our sheep barn. So your feed trigger just in the middle here. We can drive all the way through. And again, sheep will appear either side. And we're now back round this side. So if I do run in here, look, you'll see they are bunker silos, these two. Get away from that. There we go. On the help menu, you can see. Right, so that's our sheep barn. I'll come back to that in a second. We've got some more equipment in here, like so. And at the end, we've got some hay bales, which is nice. Quite a few of them as well. So we've got feed to start off your sheep and cows. Now, there's no straw, but we obviously do have mineral feed down there, but you can get away with just using silage and hay for making TMR. And then obviously your sheep will take hay as well, so that's pretty cool. This will hold 70 sheep, and your wool, I did test this, appears just about here. More equipment as we go. Awesome. Right, I think that's about it, really. Oh, there's a bit out the back. I'll show you that, and then I'll come back to the Karma, I think. Yeah, a little bit of equipment stored out the back here. So we've got our slurry tank, trailer, etc. out the back, like so. Now, going back to the Karma 16, this is the thing I had a little bit of trouble with. I'm not quite sure why it's happening. I think it's because it's slightly raised here and it's not picking up the triggers, but it won't let me click on that to fill that up. So this will hold as normal seeds and mineral feed, but you can't fill that up. Now you can sell that if you want. If you don't want it there, you can sell that. And if I show you just as an example, go into here and the containers again. Now it was this guy that we had put down. So if I load that back up and plant that down, if I come over to that, it will allow us to do that. Now if I come over and place that down roughly where that is, or was, should I say, we'll have to do the toggle free mode off. It just doesn't like this area, I think. It just, I don't know. Yeah, look, so it's not the one that was already there that's at fault. It's not liking this area, I don't think. So there we go. But it does work. Right, that's our farm, I believe. I don't think I've missed anything. Apologies if I do miss anything on here. I haven't done any map tours for some time because I've been ill, if you haven't seen any of my posts. So a little bit rusty, I think, with the old map tours. But this is my first one since sort of recovering. Right, I'm going to add in some money though. We'll buy up those farms and then we'll get cracking. So I will see you in a short while. Right, so got a bit of money. I'm going to leave the help menu on because some of the buildings do have bunker silos built into the farms, and you'll be able to see where they are because some of them I might miss. So we'll leave that on just as we run in there. It should pick it up. Right, we'll start up the top here. Now they all are named. So Fairview, that's Rafflin View Farm. I could do that actually as we're buying it, can't we? So let's buy this one. 691,000 just over. If I click on that, we've got a cow barn. Most of them have got a fuel tank and some workshop trigger of some sorts. So this was Rafflin View Farm. 296,000 just over. We'll buy that. This has got sheep on there. And then this one, this is quite interesting. This one, 632 on there. This is actually the biogas plant farm, which I'm calling it, but it's called Fair Energy. So I'll come back to that in a second. This guy over here, this is called Ruing Farm. Quite a big one, this, 800,000 just over. You get these fields though. That's got cows and chickens on. Over here, we've got Hillview Farm. Again, a bit expensive, 728, but quite a few fields again we get there. This has just got cows on there, like so. What I will say is there's no silos on any of the farms, so if you want to store things, you're going to need to put a silo down somewhere, but there seems to be a fair bit of space on some of them to be able to do that, or you could just sort of take up a little bit of one of your fields or things like that. Right, because we've bought this one down here which has the BGA, if I now go up into productions, as you can see it's showing the BGA there, so we do own that. That's quite cool that that comes included with that farm. So we will jump in and we'll get cracking, I think. And the first visit we're going to make is going to be that sheep farm, and that was called Rafflin View Farm. Now, to our left and right are fields that we start off in new farmer mode. I quite like things like this. This has got a gate here to go into this field, and as you can see, we've got a wall and a fence there. But this side, there is no fence at all. Now, I don't know if they've done this on purpose, but it would be pretty cool for like role-playing or story modes. We've got a broken fence post down there, and there's a random post sticking up here, so you could sort of like make a story up that you got to repair the fence before winter or something like that. I don't know, just random stories coming out of my head. One thing I will say is any fences and gates, they have collisions on, but these brick walls, they do not. So as you can see, no collisions, but there is on the gate. So some people might like that, some people might not. Just thought I'd point it out. Right, moving on from there, we will get going, and you're going to see some really nice scenic spots in a second. Nice little cattle grid going across into this farm. And then we've got the sea down there, which is nice coastal area it is. As you can see triggers there. So yeah, I mean, little areas like this, I don't know if this area comes with that farm actually. It does just about. It might be able to squeeze a silo in there. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to turn around and do that for a quick getaway. So if you drive down into here, we've got our farmhouse, sleep trigger just there. Van's a little bit close. Oh, it does have the Northern Irish number plates on all the vehicles, which is pretty cool. Nice little sort of yard, quite tight. We've got a fuel tank here. We can fill that up. It is empty, up to 10,000 litres that will take. Now these are just decorative, these two buildings. We can't go in them, but there's a non-collision on that door, so we can go through that one. There we go. Right, workshop trigger just in there. A bunker silo there, as you can see in the help window. We can go out here because this is where your sheep are going to graze. They will come out here. They will also go into here as well, because around this side, and again you can open all these gates, or most of them. 70 sheep, feed triggers just in there. Like I say, they will appear at the other side of that wall and out there, which is nice. We've got a bit of shed space. You can drive in there, a little bit of shed as well there, space. Like I say, lights, you will sort of have to search for them, but a lot of them turn on. Quite a few sheds, and we've got a gate there. We can go in and out of the yard if we wish to. So that is that farm. We will drive out of there, but as you can see, it's quite scenic. We need to go right just here. I do like all these stone walls though. You see a lot of these in the UK when you get out in the countryside. Oh, this is something I spotted actually. I almost flipped the pickup on my route round. There's a random bit of fence stuck in the road here, so that's going to need a bit of an update to fix that. So we can carry straight on down this main road. It does loop round to where we're going to come out, but I'm going to take this dirt track because I really like the tracks on this map. They just look really cool, quite bumpy. Just think they look quite realistic looking. Nice textures to them. What I like as well is in a lot of the fields there's junk. We've got all these electricity boxes and things like that. Trailers in that field up there. Oh, there we go, nearly flipping over. Concentrate. And some of these fields down here, they look like they were once used as animal pastures, because we've got old bathtubs which would have been for the water troughs, and like rings there for feeding. So that's that road that loops back up where I said, look at this though, imagine living there, how beautiful that would be. Unless of course you've got driving rain and the sea smashing against your property. Right, moving on. Love the way these fences are all crooked in that they're not completely straight. Like if you were to place them yourself it would be dead straight, wouldn't it? Like things like that. So just in front of us, you should probably see the BGA. That is where we're going to be going in a second. But we've just got one place to visit first. We've got the Sellpoint and a shop in here. We can do a loop-the-loop. So I'll stop about there and jump out. Now just behind us in here, there's no trigger to signal it. But if I back away, we are now down here. This is Silage Cells. If I tag that up, it's in there. It's basically a bale sell point, so it won't only take silage, it will take more sugar beet cut, straw, grass, hay, etc. Shop menu just there. You can't go in any of these buildings. Workshop trigger just there, and this is your reset point down here as well, roughly over here. They do get a little bit close and tight to this parked car here, so you might struggle with a few things depending on what you're using. But out of there we are got our next farm, which is the BGA one. It's actually called Fair Energy. So as you can see, all the BGA icons, etc. You can manage it there. Do have a bunker silo here and next door, so a double one, which is pretty cool. I'll stop there. Now before I open this door, the light switch for this whole area is there, and the reason I've done that is because if I do that, it will put all of the lights on, even in here. When you open this door, it covers that up. So I was struggling to see where the light switch was because I opened this door first, but you should be able to pick it up like that as well. So we've got a workshop trigger in here as well. Like I said, there's a lot of workshops at each farm, or a workshop should I say. Fuel tank again there. That is pretty much that farm. Back out and round. Now there's no traffic on this map, probably just as well, because these lanes, tracks, they're pretty narrow. There is a few people walking around here and there. You'll see some in a second. There we go. There seems to be quite a lot of people up here. This is our animal dealer. So down into this area, it's going to show up all the animal pens because we've bought all the farms. So just there. If we jump back in the pickup, we've got a sell point. Again, no trigger showing us, but it is in there if you tag it up. The little grill there, that is fair grain. And if we head on down, let's go that way because behind is the edge of the map. I'll tell you one thing I didn't show you on the map. We will get up to the next point, which I think is the debris crusher. I didn't show you the two forestry areas on the map. I will show you that and how much they are. So more junk lying around. Do like that on maps. You do see that a lot on farms and that, don't you? So just in down here, we've got the debris crusher. I think those stones there are just decorative. You can't use them. So I'm going to stop there. I'll quickly show you where we've been as well. So your forestry areas, there's going to be one there and one there, like so. Now the outside of the map here, I didn't mention that either, we cannot buy. So I'm clicking on that, even down here. So we can't buy that, and we can't buy this big lake in the middle. So those are the only bits we can't buy. Everything else is pretty fair game. So we started off at our main farm. We came across, did the sheep farm, back out along there. Now you can carry on round like that, but we cut through this dirt track and that little house was just there. We did the silage sales and shop, the BGA farm, animal dealer sell point up here and out the debris crusher, and we're just going to carry on like that until we finish off the top farm. So after that we have got Ruin Farm, I think is the next one on the list, which is just in there. Now yeah, I'm gonna drive through into here. I think I'll try and remember how I did this now. Right, we've got a sleep trigger just over there for the farmhouse. Lots of sheds. Again, we can open doors and things like that, like so. Workshop trigger at the back, quite a big open space. Now I did notice that these lights in here are already on, which is a bit random. We do have a light switch here, so if I go like that and turn them on, these ones come on, and also that one over there, but for some reason those ones are switched on permanently, so I'm not quite sure about that. So we'll jump this wall. A bunker silo just in here, covered one, a bit of storage space there. Do have lights again here for those, which is nice. If we run round this way, we can open up these gates, single ones. We'll go over this side first. This is the chicken coop. Now this is quite a big building, as you can see, but we cannot go in it. as far as I can tell. I tried all the doors, so you're not going to actually see any of your chickens, but your feed trigger is just there. And if we run all the way down to the back, we do have the dialogue box, and this will hold though 960 chickens, so quite a few. In fact, I'm going to buy some. You'll be able to hear them like so, but you won't see them because they are in the building. Now, in terms of your eggs, didn't test this, but I'm assuming they're going to be probably this end or up that far end, so we need to check that out. Can drive up through this way. We've got another fuel tank which is empty, but we can fill that up. We got another cow barn, so feed and straw triggers through here. Probably slurry there, I would have thought, but we can drive all the way through. And now back at those double gates that we opened. Dialogue boxes here. This will hold 90 cows. I don't think we can open this gate. Like so. Your milk. That's a good question. Milk. Where was that? Oh, I think it's going to be this side. If it's not that trigger there, it's going to be this one. So you do have two triggers for your cow barns. So one's going to be for slurry, one's going to be for milk. And as I said earlier about manure, not quite sure. I don't know if we're going to get any in there, or we're going to need to place down a manure heap extension. But like I say, plenty of room for things and a silo on some of the farms. I'm going to open that gate up there because we're going to head on out that way. Very nice little sort of house there, cottage, maybe for the workers if you're going down that route. A lot of junk. More storage area just here. Another gate out up there. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think you can open that door. That is that farm. So if we drive out there and round, we should be able to go through those double gates. We'll do a full-on drive through. And out the gate that opened. There we go. And then off we go. So we've got another farm coming up. You can just about see in the distance. That over there is where we started, so that's your starting farm in new farmer mode. You can just about see all the barns and farmhouse. But we are going to move along and head into this farm. This was Hillview Farm. I think this has just got cows in. So it does have a nice drive up into the farmhouse. I'll quickly show you. Sleep trigger again by the door. Can open this door here, but it's very small, so it might just be for storing pallets, things like that. So if we drive along to the next sort of gate entrance, we'll have a proper look around. This is a nice house opposite there. Like I say, a lot of these gates you can open, but we're going to go in this way. Like so. Sheds in there. Karma 16, you can use this one, not a problem. Fuel just there. Again, more sheds. Workshop trigger in there. There is lights here. Now this, like I said earlier, this will do all of these sheds, look, even right down into there. So that's pretty cool. It's just going to be a case of hunting the light switch for some of these. Gates again. Nice bit of shed space, plenty of room. Bunker silo just here, look. You can drive up round the back and tip in from the back end there if you want to, because it's raised up. We do have a gate there. 90 cows for this one. If I can jump over like that, should be a gate there as well. Yeah, so we can drive through again. This one's pretty obvious, so we open that up. Gonna have a milk collection point there, which is nice. Feed and straw through the middle. That almost looks damaged, that door, doesn't it? Slurry collection point, I would say, is there. And then, right, what was that up there? Oh, it's another covered bunker silo just there, and then a shed space just there. So like I say, you can drive up round here and tip in, but you need to come up round this way instead of jumping up the bank like I have just done. So that is where that is, and that I think is that farm as well. So moving on, we've got a group of sell points next, and then just one more farm to visit. So we've got a bit of a ruined house there. What I will say about these sell points coming up, until you kind of get used to the map, you'll probably have to tag some of the places up because they haven't got any triggers on them really. So first of all, we're now up here. We've got coastal stores. I think it's supposed to be coastal, but if I tag that up, it's actually showing there. We can open this door. Now where you're going to get your trigger, it's going to be in here somewhere, but as you can see, it's going to be a grain sell point like so. If we run around the back, we've got a wall sell point. That's pretty obvious. We've got wall there, and then the exclamation sign here, that's a sawmill, so we can sell our wood. You can see the help menu there. So it's not going to be a production sawmill, just purely for selling wood. That is it. And then over here, if I tag that up, we've got coastal dairies. That is roughly here. So like I say, until you get used to the map, tag things up, make sure you're taking things to the right place. And like I say, one last farm to visit. That is Fairview Farm. You can see the forestry areas over there in the distance. There is a little bit of a sort of placeable area there, reasonably flat. You should be able to do something on there if you wanted to. Put down another sell point, production or something like that. We need to turn up this way. I just love random things like this on maps. Look, the bucket on the... It's just... I don't know, things like that make me smile on maps. Right, I never noticed this on any of the other farms, so apologies if I didn't, but this one does have its own name on the front, Fairview Farm. I'll zoom in a little bit because we've got a few trees, but I do like the entrance up into this one. Now, off that way we've got a different farmhouse, a bit more grander. Sleep trigger is at the front there. To the left we've got this track, so we've got two bunker silos again, and we can tip in from here, but that is a little bit low there, so don't want anything too big. Maybe a push trailer to get that off. We will stop here I think and turn the engine off. We've got a fuel tank just there. These are all sort of decorative. We've got a little area there, you might be able to store bales or pallets. Workshop in here. We can open this gate, and I say there's your bunker silos. A little bit of an area out the back. You could put something, maybe a silo if you can squeeze one in there, or a little chicken coop, something like that. Whatever you want to do really, not a problem. And then round this side we do have cows again. This will hold 70 cows. We need to open this one again. Light switch just there. Feed triggers just through here. You can open this gate as well if you want to. Cows are obviously going to spawn through in round there. Again, either milk or slurry. I would say milk there. Slurry probably down this end, like so. And then we've got a bit more shed space with lights there again, like so. Open shed. And that is pretty much it. I think we've done all of it. So, I think we ended up down here somewhere, didn't we? So we did BGA, animal dealer, that sell point, come up, debris crusher, this farm, across like that into that farm, up there, did the 4 sell points, and then up into there. That is it. That is Fairhead by FastFarming, the ES Agri. Like I said, quite a nice map. I like it. Please let me know your thoughts. But I hope you have enjoyed the map tour. If you have, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And don't forget to smash that bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.